Everybody, welcome back to my shop. Today we're going to be building a shoe cabinet. The first thing I'm going to do is start by breaking down the plywood into the size of the pieces that I need. Now that I have the sides and the tops cut, what I need to do is mark out all the locations of where I need the dados to be for the shelves. Since the workpiece is too large to cut these dados on my table saw, what I did was make a jig for my router so that I could safely make all these cuts and have them level straight across. Now you'll notice the jig is nothing more than a couple of pieces of plywood shaped into a T-square and clamped down to the workpiece. But it's very effective. Now all I need to do to make the rest of the dados for the shelves is to line it up where my marks are, clamp it in place, and run the router against it. Now that I have the dados cut all the way through, I'll run the side pieces through my table saw and cut them to the exact dimensions that I need. Using this method right here ensures that the dados are going to be in the exact same spot on both side pieces, leaving no room for error. I'm setting my fence to cut the top and the bottom just shy of the exact dimensions that I have for the sides, and you'll see why in a minute. Also, I've narrated before, when I cut the bottom and the top piece, I left them a 1/4 inch short. Now the reason for that is, instead of having to go and make everything the same size, the sides, the top, and the bottom, and then having to cut a rabbet with a router to house the back, what I did was, to make it easier, was create a rabbet by using the table saw and the cutting method of leaving these a 1/4 inch shorter from the top and the bottom than the sides, so that it automatically houses that when I drop it in, and everything's going to be flush, and then I can just tack this in later with some staples. I'm going to join the top and the bottom to the sides with pocket screws because they'll be completely hidden. I finished assembling the carcass, so now I have to cut the shelves. Once the shelves are cut, I'll apply some glue to the dados and just hammer them home. Now that the box is assembled, I need to put it back on this thing, so I'm cutting this 1/4 inch plywood to size. Once it's all squared up and the back is installed, I'm going to tack it in with some staples. They'll have some better holding power. Alright guys, so you can see it's starting to shape up now. The reason I put the nice face on the inside is because obviously the back is going to be up against the wall, so when you open the doors to this, you want to see something nice inside on there because there's an A and B side on this veneered 1/4 inch plywood back. Alright guys, I'm going to start to cut the face frames here. We need to start dressing this thing up. I'll assemble the face frames, the rails and stiles here with pocket screws. Now I've applied wood glue to the carcass and I'm dropping the face frame on there, and I'm going to nail it off with some 18 gauge brad nails. Now here I'm cutting some 1/2 inch pieces, and I'm going to put these on the bottoms and the top of the sides to dress it up. Now installing these, I'll just apply some glue and I'm going to tack them in with 23 gauge pin nails. So a very minute hole I won't have to fill. I've set my miter gauge on my table saw to 45 degrees, and what I'm going to do is cut miters here for the top, and I'm going to frame out the top with this solid wood.
Now I need to install these hinges before I do the finishing process here. So what I'm going to do is mark where I need them to be, then I'm going to use a VIX bit or a self-centering drill bit to install them. Same process here for mounting the inset door. I have washers as spacers here so I have an even reveal around. Once I have this installed, I'll check the operation of the door and then remove all the hardware and stain it and finish it.
Okay guys, well once again I'd like to thank you for joining me in the shop. This was a really fun project, a really rather large project, and that's what we've been doing lately. I do have a lot of smaller projects and a lot of shop projects that I have to do within the next coming weeks. So stick with me, make sure you subscribe, definitely follow me on Instagram. I'll put a link on the bottom of the screen there. And the doors are all back on, everything's set up. It's got 3 coats of polyurethane. You saw me stain it, you saw me spray it. Barn door style hinges, nice antique style finish. I'm going to get you a close-up of this afterwards also and give you some pictures. And with the doors, what I did was I installed magnetic catches here so that they stay closed in the event that when I get it to the client's house there is any unleveling on the floor. And these doors would have a tendency, because they're so heavy, if the floor is uneven, they'll have a tendency to swing open. So that magnetic catch right there will ensure that it doesn't, because the customer did not want those self-closing European-style hinges, which can, be hidden. And then I could have did the overlay doors. These style hinges are made more for fences, and what that will do is if there's any kind of a pitch, it'll just swing right open, and we don't want that. So they stay closed. Nice even reveal all the way around. Plenty of shoe storage, which is what's going to be used for primarily. So I hope they enjoy it, and I'm sure they will. They've already seen the finished product, so all I got now to do is deliver it. So make sure you subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.